How are y'all doing? Thank you so much for joining me. We are going to get started with this very special edition of Wine Wednesday, Father's Day edition, and I'm going to bring Marleah out here right now. Hey, Marleah.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. This is awesome.
I know. Mandy Park Wine Glass Emoji is supposed to be here. She ran into some scheduling problems, and then there was a wreck on her way to where she was going, so she's stuck in traffic right now. But hopefully she'll be able to join us for a few minutes here in a minute. I know it's kind of sucks, but that's all right. The party must go on. Wine. What does wine go with? A party, and even a spoiled party, and it probably just makes it better.
For Mandy, a really crappy day.
So yeah, right. Exactly. And the bad thing is, like, she's going to be joining us from soccer practice or something on her phone, so she can't even drink wine and be able to drive back. So yeah, it's going to be a bummer. And we've already got 𝙁𝙗𝙩𝙾 is here. Carl is here
with the dad
jokes. Ariel is here. She's not doing hashtag team replay. That's awesome. Thank you for coming by, Ariel. So before we get started, a lot of y'all know this is Alex Hall's birthday. A lot of y'all know Alex. He's one half of LinkedIn's cutest couple. Yeah, today is his birthday, and I put together a little video. Y'all, please do not laugh at it because this is my first video attempt in Canva. I couldn't get the audio just how I wanted it, and it's really kind of cheesy, but it's also funny. So we're going to tell Alex happy birthday real quick. He's already asleep over in England, but he'll see this tomorrow. So, Alex, this is for you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
All right.
Do me a favor, if you ever do a birthday one, never post a picture of me in my bathing suit. Never do that.
So it's a running joke on, them being LinkedIn's cutest couple or whatever. And Alex did a video one time of him playing the guitar shirtless. So it's been a running joke since then of, him being a thirst trap. And so we give him a hard time about it. So when I asked Meg to send some pictures of him so I could put this together, that's exactly what all she sent. And I was like, that is absolutely perfect to do this on. So
I can't wait till you see it.
I can't either. Like, in fact, I need to make sure I tag him. Let me do this real quick.
Good job on the video.
Thank you. I wish I could have got it was a whole crap show, but if I could have got the audio a little bit better, that would have been great.
I thought it was great.
I'm gonna tag him in this so it reminds him to do it when he wakes up in the morning.
I'm sure he's gonna love it when he wakes up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, cool. So
I hope everyone's drinking some wine.
Yeah, I hope so too. If y'all are drinking some wine, let us know what you're drinking. I know 𝙁𝙗𝙩𝙾 is drinking wine. Definitely Adam Quintilla's drinking wine. The comments are coming faster than I can put them up on screen.
That's good.
Yeah, I know, right?
People like us.
Right?
It is.
I've
Carl.
never had this problem. We've got 9 people here. I'm usually somewhere around 5 or 6, so that is cool.
People they love you and they love your
Yeah.
life.
So just to get it started, y'all, we're going to do a contest.
Yes.
Right? So tell us about this, Marleah.
Okay, so we want to celebrate dads, right? We did a Mother's Day one and that went really well. And we want to do a Father's Day one. So we thought it would be a fun way to celebrate dads by gifting wine to someone who has the best dad joke.
Right?
We want to see all the dad jokes in the comments. And then Chris is going to create a poll tonight or tomorrow. And you guys are going to vote for the winner. And that person's going to win 4 bottles of wine.
Right.
Right?
How cool is that? Like, so after the show or as they're coming in, if I can keep up with it, I'll probably have to go back after the show and look at all the comments. We're going to pick our favorite ones. And like she said, we're going to create a poll and then let the people decide. The poll's only going to be up for like 24 hours. Yeah. I will post that tonight.
Woo.
I will go through and do it. If Marleah can get her favorites to me after the end of the broadcast.
I won't stop till I get them. Yeah.
I will post them tonight.
Oh, Michael's here. Hey.
Yeah, Michael is here. What's up, dude?
Did I say it right? Did I say it wrong? I feel like a loser now.
Holly is here.
Yay.
Yeah,
if you guys missed the beginning, Mandy is in a horrible she's okay, but there's a traffic accident and she is stuck in traffic. So she is working really hard to get here to join us.
Yeah, she sent a picture of her current state and she was looking at fire trucks and ambulances. So
okay, Ariel just
all right, Ariel. Why do melons have weddings? Because they can't elope. And then Michael says, what do you call a wine hangover? The Great Depression. What did the drummer call his twin daughters? And I want
and a 2. And a 1 and a 2. Oh man.
Oh, that's awesome. Love that, Ariel.
What does a taco say, Grace? Let us pray.
Let us pray. Right on.
I had my kids give me some jokes before, just in case we had some stalled time.
Right.
I've got some ready. My daughter said, what concert cost just 45 cents? 50 Cent featuring Nickelback. I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good. You don't get hangovers with Scout and Cellar.
Amen. Let's drink to that.
You're right. So Ariel, she's in a group message with some of us, and she sent a picture of her reg collection and her wine collection. And let me tell you, that woman loves her some wine.
Yay. Any friend of wine is a friend of ours, or mine, but I want to say ours because Mandy's in here too.
What do you call a guy lying on your doorstep, Lindsay? So if y'all are going to put dad jokes in there, please put them all in one comment and don't split the comments up because it's going to be a nightmare to go through all that.
Lindsay, what's the answer?
I know. I'm waiting on the answer. When I was a kid, my mother told me I could be one. Identity theft is a crime, Carl. Most definitely. Nathan, you hear about the guy about the kidnapping at school? It's fine. He woke up. Used to always get small shocks when touching metal objects, but it recently stopped. Needless to say, oh, he put that in there twice. Popping open the 𝙭 Riesling right now. Yeah, it was all Scout and Cellar.
Mm-hmm. 𝙭 means how cool. That's how it translates.
A mat.
A mat.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Boom. Hey, she made it.
Are you driving? I hope you're not driving. Are you?
No, I'm parked in like a side parking lot, and I look like I'm trying to do a drug deal, but actually I'm just like parked so that I can talk to y'all.
I know. I'm so happy you're here.
I do that all the time, Lindsay. I hit return trying to space down and go up, down and under in my comment post. And I'm like, that is not what I wanted it to do. Rumor.
Carl's, look at Carl.
Oh, I love it.
Ariel is here. Like, this is the first live of mine she's ever made in person. She always watches the replays, but I have them at a terrible time for her because she's at home cooking supper right now.
It is supper time.
It is supper time. So I'm just thrilled to death that she made it.
I love that you say supper because I say supper and people in Tennessee think it's so strange, but I'm from Missouri and we just called it supper. And
yeah, we call it supper. So here in East Texas, yeah, it's impressive, Lindsay. So here in East Texas, it's supper. Lunch is lunch unless it's dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And dinner is more like the big meal of the day at lunchtime. That's the old school. Like the old school farmers, they go home and eat dinner around noon.
That was when I was growing up. My Grammy and Poppy called lunch was dinner and dinner was supper. And we'd always have Sunday dinner after church.
They called it Sunday dinner, huh? We always
Yeah,
called it
Sunday dinner, right.
Yeah.
Off topic a little bit, but I was happy to hear someone say supper.
I love that. You look so pretty. I wear camo in honor of Dad's.
Oh, I wore black in honor of the last day of school for my kids. So now with summer vacation, which is woohoo for them. And it's
yes, I am Loopy. I'm in Texas. I'm in Jacksonville, Texas. Yep.
So funny.
And
LinkedIn user, and I can't see people's names.
LinkedIn user, that is Loopy. That is Guadalupe. I don't remember her last name. It's really long.
I didn't see her. She's here?
She is here.
Yay!
She's not showing up on the LinkedIn side of the comments.
Oh,
she is
good.
showing up on the StreamYard side, though.
I'm so happy. She's like my best friend that I haven't actually met yet.
Oh, I'm froze up. My LinkedIn's froze up. Hang on.
Maybe that's
like
what
a
it is.
Super fan of yours.
There she is. Yep.
I accept all super fans.
Carl's jokes are on point. Like,
yeah,
I'm
I know
really
it.
enjoying these.
Yeah.
Oh, now
Yeah,
it's
Loopy's in
How do you get a squirrel to like you? Act like a nut. There you go. I know I can't win. I'm just trying to keep it going.
So you were acting like a nut last night. I have video proof of that somewhere.
It was a major holiday. I can't believe there's not Mandy's videos out there with video proof of her celebrating. Yesterday was National Wine Day.
Every night.
So one of my very best friends is moving from Tennessee to Minnesota. And so that was her going away party. So we popped the cork for it. So, and I pop corks all the time, but this was the first time. I mean, it blasted. You didn't see it in the video. It blasted off. So I got a little excited.
Let me see.
Right, Lindsay? I mean, it's like they're all excited about summer. Oh, you're going to show and you're shitting me. I mean, you're.
Yay!
All right.
It's so cute, though. I love it.
It's a major.
Guys, I'm really sorry to interrupt.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink some.
What's
There's
up?
like a weather emergency happening here now, like hail and tornadic types of things. So I need to go inside. So I'm gonna have to go.
Mandy, I feel like this time and date is not working.
Seriously, God is like,
that is terrible.
Go. I mean, on a positive note, we may not have football practice tonight. You know.
Can you log back in? Can you log back in when you get inside?
I will try to find a quiet place to do that.
Or you can comment.
You could, you could get on the live on your phone and comment if you can. If you're not trying not to get blown away in a tornado.
I mean, don't risk your life for us. I mean,
okay. All right. Well, hopefully I will see y'all in a minute. But I need
be safe.
Need to get
bye.
inside. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Oh,
That's
man.
a bummer.
One thing after
I
another.
know it.
There's always those days. Jeez.
How does Moses make his coffee? He brews it.
Okay. I
He
might
saw
miss
a fish with no eyes. Ariel, thank you so much for coming. Like, you just made my day.
Oh, bye, Ariel.
Yeah.
Go drink some wine.
Yeah.
Finish that bottle tonight. Don't quit.
Yeah, don't quit. She's, you know, she
Be a
will.
quitter.
You know it's gonna happen.
I believe in you.
Right.
I thought I saw Guadalupe posted a question, but I don't know. I can't find it again.
Oh yeah, she did. She said, "What are you drinking, Marleah?"
Oh, I'm drinking a Pinot Noir. I've actually, this is the last day of school. We've been out in the sun all day, and I love red wine, so I like to go with the lighter wines when, you know, it warms up outside. So, and my husband's actually grilling fish, which isn't really the grilling that we're going to talk about tonight, but I was trying to find a red wine that I could probably sneak in with fish tonight. Yeah. So
I smoked some fish a couple of weeks ago.
I don't know what you're going to say. I smoked what?
No, no. Puff puff pass, right?
That's a whole nother live.
Yeah, that's a whole nother live, a whole nother life that we don't live.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah. Anyway, I smoked some fish on the smoker, and I'd never tried it before, and I just put it in a little bit of aluminum foil and left it open. Sprayed it with a little bit of cooking spray, and then just sprinkled some Cajun seasoning on it and threw it on the smoker for a couple hours, or an hour. Really, it was like an hour, and it was amazing. Like, it was really good.
Look at Michael. Were they hard to keep lit? Okay, that
one won't say to the other. I'll meet you at the corner.
So I'm not a fish eater at all. So I love red meat and I love bacon. So I'm not really good thing I drink my healthy wine, because I'm not a fish eater at all. In the last year, I don't want my kids to turn out to like me, where I am, you know, we go out to a nice dinner and I order the rare filet mignon, and my husband orders red snapper, and they always give me the fish, assuming. So I've been trying to once a week put fish in our meals. So that's why we're having fish tonight. But I got a little elevated cholesterol too.
Right.
I hate to admit that out loud, but I guess you can't just eat steak and bacon every day.
I don't know why not.
The doctors keep telling me. But I have heart healthy wines. I feel like
it balances, right? It's a trade-off.
It's science, I think.
Yeah. I like the way you think. Definitely. So, your husband is cooking fish.
Yeah.
Did you have any fish pairings?
I do. So Mandy and I were kind of talking, we were kind of dividing it up. So, you know, if you were we were kind of focusing more on like red meats and pork, like real on barbecue. If you're going to, I mean, I shouldn't say that, because I mean, you can grill fish. So if you're going to grill.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Yeah. And you could choose more of your whites, like your Chardonnays or Sauvignon Blancs. So that lemony flavor in Sauvignon Blancs may be good for fish. You could also do like a sparkling rosé, which I don't know if that's going to hit the dads, but sparkling rosés are really fun, and you can pair those really well with fish. But for the most part, we were talking about thinking like brisket and hamburgers and pulled pork. So take away from what we're having for supper, because that's just a check in the box. So I'm a good mom. I'm just trying to be a good mom.
Right.
I have a few jokes about retired people, but none of them work.
Yeah, I know. That one was pretty good.
So we did this for Mother's Day, and what happened? We had to drink every time we said the word. What was it? Do you remember?
Was it So I Did a Thing?
Yes. And so we had a 1 hour live.
Kevin?
And I drank too much in 1 hour, and I didn't mean to. And then all of us at 7 o'clock at night, and I was like, trying to figure out what I was going to do the rest of the day. So I'm glad I'm not doing a drinking game, because I feel like no one in the comments was drinking. They were just watching Mandy and I drink.
Yeah, it was pretty epic.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah, I know. I'm with her.
I'm with her too. So if you're looking at, steak, or anything grilled. So if you're looking at like red wine and you're looking at grilled meats, you want the bolder, the better for the red wines, right? So the higher the fat content in the meat, that's going to balance out the tannins in the wine. So you can go really bold and in like a really good red wine when you're doing grilled meat. So think like when it comes to pork, think of like sweet versus savory, right? So red wines with high fruit, like if they're described as fruity or high fruit, like fruit factor, those would be really good with pork. So things like Zinfandels or Pinot Noirs is what I'm drinking tonight, or even Rieslings, which is a white wine, that would be good for pork. If you're looking at pairing wines with like your grilled beef, right? So think pepper and tobacco. So wines that enhance that tobacco and pepper flavors that are in grilled beef would be good. So think about your Chiantis. Shiraz or Syrahs are the same grape. Tempranillos, Bordeaux, even a really good Cabernets, those are really good for grilled beef. So think of your cheeseburgers. A good Zen or good Cab would be great with cheeseburgers. So Father's Day, Cabernet and cheeseburgers. There.
Right on.
Everyone's got plans now. There's your grill pairings.
Why do some couples go to the gym? Because they want their relationship to work out.
Burn. Yeah.
Burn. Liver with fava beans and a nice Chianti. Liver. Do you really eat liver, Michael? Do you eat that filter? I have a general rule of thumb.
I like Kevin.
I don't like Kevin. Like, yeah, I could definitely get behind that. Double wrap, yeah, double wrap it in bacon. That's what I'm talking about.
That's why my cholesterol is high. I gotta help my heart. Hold on, I gotta help my heart.
Yeah, I know. I have a general rule of thumb, with the exception of shrimp. If a catfish if I can use it for catfish bait, I will not put it in my mouth. Liver is definitely out. A tractor. She thinks my tractor's sexy. Yeah, that's why I don't sing.
Yeah, Kenneth. So good.
Yeah. So what, and this may have been Mandy's thing. She mentioned, and I think it was her, she mentioned something about a specialty pairing with bacon wrapped jalapenos.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of playing around with some, appetizers. And if you have something really spicy, you'd go with a sweeter wine or even a sparkling wine. So you could do like a Riesling. Like if we were laughing about bacon covered jalapenos, doing that with a Riesling. You really want to, if you have a really spicy meat, you add a sweeter wine pairing with it. So, So, I mean, ask questions. We can answer the questions.
Yeah, right. I forgot about that, Michael. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I do these Wine Wednesday videos every week on LinkedIn. And my whole thing is that, you do you. I've traveled the world about wine. I love wine, but the rules are stuffy. And who cares about the rules? Yeah. You want to eat fish with a Cabernet, do it. If you want to smell the cork, do it. If you want to, drink straight out of the bottle, I mean, do it, right? So, just wine's awesome. So just enjoy it however you like. So there's rules to follow to really appreciate and enjoy the flavors of the different wines with pairing with food. But you do you. So that's my whole thing.
So what would be a good, and Loopy just asked something too, what would pair well with cheesecake?
I love bubbles with my dessert. So I tend to put a lot of sparkling wines with dessert. So that's what I would put with a cheesecake. Something brut, like a brut sparkling wine. She's from Spain. So cava, pair some cava with some cheesecake. That's my recommendation. But bacon cheesecake, Nathan, now we are best friends.
Yeah, he was talking about that earlier. There's a maple bacon cheesecake.
Where is that?
He had it somewhere.
I found bacon and ice cream. Some of the little ice cream shops are starting to add bourbon bacon bits inside ice cream. I mean, it's crazy, but it works. the sweet and the
Yeah,
that might be why I have a cholesterol problem.
right.
Maybe you guys shouldn't listen to me at all. Let me help my heart again. Hold on.
Yeah. Michael, I think I'm gonna pass on checking out your secret door in the secret basement. You just dropped a Hannibal Lecter quote, bro. I think I'm gonna pass on that one. Wife likes Stella Rosa wine. Are you familiar with Stella Rosa?
Stella Rosé wine. So rosés are really good. So rosés are fun. I don't know the Stella Rosé. I know our own rosés, but assuming it's going to be dry, it would be great with your fish and your chickens. So it's chicken grilling and fish, or a pool. I always like drink the rosé by the pool. But yeah, so I don't know that particular wine because I
don't think it's a rosé. It's a brand. Stella Rosa is a brand.
Oh, so what type of wine is it?
They're pretty sweet because my wife likes them.
Okay. So your sweet would pair with spicy. So if you're going to have spicy food, so your spicy, if you're going to grill something with some heat on it, that would be good for your sweeter wines. That help? I don't know the brand. I don't know the brand. I know my brand really well.
Right. And they have a couple of different kinds in that brand. I just don't remember what all they are because my wife gets it. She gets those sometimes.
She likes sweet wine then, right?
She likes sweet wine. Yep.
You know, with our, what is it?
Is that supposed to be a dad joke? I have a lot of memories with Boone's Farm, man.
I have a lot of memories.
So when I was 21, my roommate was 20 and so was his girlfriend. So naturally I was the designated beer buyer, right? So we had to go out of county to get beer. We drive over almost to Nacogdoches. It was about 35 minutes away on the back roads. We'd get a couple of 30 packs of Bud Light, and then we would each get a bottle of Boone's Farm and drink it on the way home. Back roading the whole time. Strawberry Hill. Blackberry Ridge was my favorite.
That's how I became the expert I am today. So I recently did a post talking about the difference between screw caps and corks, right? So some really nice wines are starting to do screw caps, but a lot of us associate screw cap wines with Boone's Farm crap.
Yes.
But now, because of cork taint and a lot of problems with, cork, ruining wines, more and more vineyards are choosing the screw cap. So don't let a screw cap scare you away from a bottle of wine.
Yeah, people get kind of snotty about the difference between a cork and a screw cap when it comes to buying their wine, don't they?
They do, and my hashtag smell the cork because we always smell the cork. Why am I echoing over there? I don't know why.
Okay. Do you have LinkedIn up?
I don't.
Anywhere?
I don't even know how to do that. Okay. I'm a tech dinosaur. Yeah, so I even had messages on my smell the cork that I was wrong about smelling the cork. And it's funny because people have such strong opinions about things. I learned drinking wine in Europe. I lived there and they always smelled the cork. They'd uncork a bottle and they'd smell it and they'd be looking for that cork taint, which is, comes in like 1 out of 10 bottles has cork taint and you can smell it in the cork. And then you come over here in California saying never smell the cork. And so people have such differing views and people message me like mean things. I'm like, don't be mean to me.
Right. So before we do Nathan's question, Eduardo says, is that y'all's generation of Four Loko? So Boone's Farm is not anywhere nearly as potent as Four Loko is.
I don't even know.
Four Loko will knock you out. It is really this sweet, kind of comes in like a 32-ounce can or something, and it is just, ugh. Anyway, Nathan had a question for you.
Is it so Fieldhouse, there's a 301 Chardonnay and there's a 301 Pinot Noir. Do you remember if it's a red or a white? It's funny to watch all the comments. I'm like, now I'm talking about Forrest Gump. But
I know. What is Forrest Gump's email password? 1 Forrest 1.
Okay, I think this wine giveaway may actually be really hard.
Yeah, I know, right?
You're going to have like 15 polls.
I know. What is that? I'm not sure. I don't know what that is.
Wine, like only about 10% of wine should actually be aged. So I don't know all the brands out there, but most wines, especially red wines, should be drank within 5 years. So a lot of people talk about aging wines, and a lot of times wines aren't. They're created to be drank or drunk. Is it drink or drunk?
You
I
drank
know
them.
I am.
You drank them to get drunk. Hang on, we're fixing to get there. We're headed there now.
They're young wines that are made to be drunk young. Is that the right? I don't know if I'm using the right word. So I don't know that one. So if they are going to be aged, you have to be really particular about leaving the bottle on its side and in a cool temperature, about 59 degrees. So aging wines is pretty specific, and there's an art to it. So I've never been too successful. Although we built this house and we have a wine cellar, so I'd probably do better with aging wines now.
Nathan's wine was a white Zen.
Oh yeah, I knew White Zen. So that's actually hilarious that you said that. So White Zen is a new wine that we have just launched, which we always think about our moms or our grandmas drinking White Zen. It's really sugary and gross. But we've launched, with Scout and Cellar, there's no added sugars, no added, there's no pesticides used in growing grapes, no chemicals, no additives, nothing. And so we have a White Zen that just got launched that's just using the grape with no additives, and it's not sticky sweet. It's just a fruity wine. So again, I would put that with your chickens or even some of your porks or fish. It's a great summer wine. Don't be Nathan, don't be like scared off by the pink color, because I was when they launched it, I was like, what? White Zen? I'm too good for White Zen. But it was a very nice surprise of that White Zen that we just launched. So I'm glad you asked about that. I forgot about our White Zen.
Yeah, the only White Zen I have any experience with is Beringer White Zinfandel, and it's pink, and it is really, really sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not a sweet wine person, and
I'm not a sweet drink type person anyway, whether alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Like,
I'm not either. And so when we travel around, we do wine tastings, and I live in Tennessee where Muscat or muscadine wine. I never heard of it before till I lived here, which is essentially sugar and a grape on top. I don't get it. It's so hard to swallow for me. But we have wines that are all it's just fermented grapes. You're just relying on the way that they grew the grapes, the care they took in farming practices to create really quality wines without having to add anything. And so nothing's mass produced. There's nothing, like, we get so few bottles off of every acre of grapes, as opposed to mass produced, where they fill a bunch of crap inside the bottle to, mass produce their wines. So I've never been a sweet wine drinker, and Scout and Cellar, those wines are just like the perfect wine for me. Even our sweet wines, like our Rieslings, they're dry Rieslings, which, we have like 1/3 the calories and, no added sugar. So there's that.
Right.
It covers my steak and bacon diet.
Right. So tell me a little bit about, like, what is a dry wine versus a regular wine? And I agree with you on that one, Lindsay. Beringer's nasty.
What is a dry, you're talking about like a dry grape,
Yeah, I hear that all the time. What does that mean?
Well, you're going to talk about dry, like, I always think of tannins. So tannins leave that dry taste to on your tongue. So your red wines, not so much Pinot Noirs, they have like the thinner skin. So like you're talking about the like heavy red wines have high tannins, and they'd be considered really dry. You could even have some dry Chardonnays. Fruit, if it's described as fruity, that would be, your wife would probably gravitate to more fruity wines. We don't have added sugar, but a lot of times we can compensate for the sweetness with, fruity grape.
Flavor. Yeah.
So it has to do with the tannins.
Okay.
If someone says, I can't drink high tannin wines, I'd move them to Pinot Noirs, or I'd move them to whiter rosés.
Hi, Mandy.
She's safe.
Yeah, she's safe. She's alive. Woohoo! So, Eduardo, if you are, I don't have much experience drinking wine either, except for Boone's Farm and a little bit here and there with different girls I've dated that drink it.
That in a year and a half.
Yeah, in a year and a half, right?
You and I are going to sit on here like every night. I'm going to train you, or just for work, of course.
Yeah, for work, of course. Yeah. So if you have any questions about wine or what you would like, you can shoot Mandy or Marleah a DM. If you're not connected to them, go connect with them. They have some really amazing content they put out and super nice people. And
Mandy, you are really nice.
yeah, she is like, she's the sweetest. Like even her little sweet voice is just like adorable. Anyone like cooking with wine?
I mean, I drink it. Sometimes I add it to the food. Is that the joke we're doing? I like to cook with wine. Sometimes I add it to the food.
Yeah, I drink it and sometimes I add it to the food. I've never cooked with it. Have you ever cooked with it?
Yeah, a lot of.
I don't mean cook with it with like in your hand, a bottle.
I'm cooking right now with it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, so I make a really good pot roast, and I use wine in the pot roast. There's a lot of pasta sauces that I add wine to. So yeah, I cook with wine a lot. I mean,
yeah, and I think it was either you or Mandy did a post on this right here. If you won't drink it, don't cook with it. One of y'all did one. I don't remember.
Mandy? I don't think it was me.
Might have been Mandy. It was somebody did a post or said something.
Wine on all my
I
steaks.
saw it somewhere, yeah. And my hand, right? It's always good in the hand.
I don't like dry wines. Horrible. No.
Kenneth, do you drink wine at all? You strike me as a 𝙒𝙖𝙩𝙗 kind of guy. As a sipping some cognac.
I love cognac too.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm not big on it. You'd think with my last name being Hennessy that I would like it. But.
What is your drink of choice when we're there?
So I drink a lot of beer. Hey.
Oh yeah, the white butter sauce with you add wine to that. Yeah.
So let me give this dude a shout out. This is Josh Crow. He started working at this company like almost right after I did.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah, and he's our marketing manager. So yeah, it's the first time he's ever showed up on one of my lives. So I'm glad. I know, right? Like that's awesome.
Hey, Josh, we're doing dad jokes. So if you have any comments, someone
we're doing a dad joke. Wine. Yeah, we're doing a dad joke contest. So if you know any good dad jokes, drop them in the comments. We're gonna pick our top 4 or 6 or something and do a couple of polls and then let LinkedIn decide who they like best. So I know you got some corny jokes, bro.
Michael's an expert in Italian wines.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, I lived outside of hey, I'm on a call. Oh, is there one? Oh yeah. He's asking permission which one. Yes, it's perfect.
You can come in and say hi.
Josh, you can come say hi. No, it's so funny that so I don't have like in our wine cellar, I don't have things priced. And so he might have gotten in trouble a few times for opening a bottle that's worth a lot of money on for like a Tuesday. So he was asking permission. It kind of made me look like a jerk, but okay, that was a Chardonnay he was pairing with our grilled fish. There you go. Everybody knows everything about it now. Yeah, so Michael, I went to school outside of Venice. That's when I started learning a little bit about wine too. So I don't know if I was an expert, but that's where I fell in love with wine. So
boom, people are dying to get in.
What was the question? I missed it. What did
you put it into?
Oh, why do cemeteries have a gate around them? Boom, yeah. Because okay, I got it.
On the back of the tag just for that reason. What types of wine have a smoother flavor?
So, hey, without knowing which wine that you tried, wine is, everyone's so different in their opinions about wine. Like I like a really bold and a really dry wine. And if a wine's ever described with flavors like notes of tobacco or mocha or dirt, I love that wine. So, you start learning about flavor profiles. So if you had a heavy, I'm assuming you're talking about a red wine. If you had a heavy red wine, you might want to move to like a Zen is usually a fruity, like an easier drinking wine, or Pinot Noirs, which is what I'm drinking right now. That's an easy wine. If you had a really dry white wine, you might want to look at some, something like a Sauvignon Blanc, something maybe a little bit lighter for you. But without knowing everything that you had tried, it's hard to guess. And then Chardonnay is like that polarizing wine. So when I go to tastings, I never open up Chardonnay, and it's kind of funny because it's the #1 wine in America, but it's very polarizing. So people either love Chardonnays or they hate Chardonnays. There's not a lot of people that are like, they're okay. So I don't tend to taste a lot of Chardonnays. Chardonnays can be oaky, they can be creamy, they can be buttery, or that's pretty much they were aged in oak, or they can be more crisp, which would be like a stainless steel aged Chardonnay. So, I mean, there's so much that goes into each type of wine. It's sometimes hard to, I practice all the time. I research every night. I'm going to let me hold on.
Market research, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
All a tax write-off.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Venice is beautiful. It's so beautiful.
So I was wrong about Kenny. He loves some scrumptiously, deliciously, edibly tasty, good wines. What do you like to drink, Kenny? Tell us. Kenny's our biggest cheerleader, man. He is the live junkie. He shows up to everybody's stuff.
I'm connected to Kenny.
Oh my gosh, he is amazing, man. He'll be all up in your comments, just rooting you on.
And I'll pay it back too. I try.
Yeah.
Of course, now I got the kids home all summer.
Yeah, right.
Mama's got a LinkedIn. I got a LinkedIn, guys.
Right. What's 2 minus 2? He said nothing.
Smart dog.
I see what you did there. He said nothing. I actually had to read that for about 5 seconds before I got it, Brandon.
You're not even drinking. A guy walks into a bar and he was disqualified from the limbo competition. He walks into a bar, limbo? No?
Oh my gosh. I thought you said limo. Okay. Limbo. Oh my God.
I thought it was funny. Whatever.
It was funny after I figured out you said limbo and not limo. What did one lion say to the other lion after they both ate a clown?
What did one lion say to the other lion after they both? I don't know. Tell me the answer.
Yeah, I know. Like we're waiting with bated breath here, Brandon.
Eduardo, message me if you ever have any questions, and I can, give you more information. My goal is everyone just falls in love with wine. So, did that taste funny to you? Kind of like my limbo.
Yeah, right.
On my throat now. Whatever.
I got to tell you, man, he may not have been able to make it. Yeah, right, Brandon. Britt Crawford usually has some pretty mean dad jokes.
Well, they have until tomorrow, right? And we'll start. Or are you going to use these?
No, we're going to do the. As soon as we get done with this, we're going to go through the comments real quick. And I love
all the guys on here. I don't know if they're dads, but I'd love for a dad to win. I mean, I don't know who's a dad and who's not, but I think sometimes for Father's Day, I think the dads need to get some credit for that. So get some wine in their hand. You don't have to buy drinks at all.
Right. Here, baby, look what I got you for Father's Day.
Oh, I know, but they'll give you some points later.
Yeah, right. Hip hop. Yeah.
Hip hop.
What's up, Josh? You didn't drop a dad joke.
Oh, is that who is just on?
Yeah, he's right here.
Come on in.
What? Does your face hurt?
No.
It's killing me.
Oh.
The delivery was on par.
I'm going to Josh Crow. I'm going to tag him so I remember to go back and look at this. Does your face hurt? Well, it's killing me. All right. He is in the comments now. That's right. See you later, man.
I love that he came on. That's
awesome. I figured he was still here if he was on.
Yes, Michael, they do. They actually do, but only if you are wanting to drink a red wine right away. So, right. So decanters add oxygen to wine, right? So if you are planning on opening a bottle of wine and you want to drink it with right away, so you'd want to decant it. And I did I can tag you once we're connected. I did a whole post on decanting wines. So you can get a decanter that attaches to your bottle and decant it right into the glass, and that will prepare your wine to drink right away. If you're not in a hurry, then you can just open up your red wine and let it sit on the counter for 30 minutes while you're cooking or while you're, whatever you're doing. And that would actually do the trick. You could also swirl. That's the same thing, right? That's why we're swirling. We're decanting the wine or adding oxygen to that wine. So I do usually decant it. I have I have one. Well, hold on. Give me a second.
Go get it. I like that one, Jose. What's the best way to watch a fly fishing tournament? Live stream it.
So, I have these because I gift these out, but they're little decanters that you actually attach to the bottle. So you can decant them right when you pour a glass. And that's typically what I use on any day that ends in day. So wait,
how does that thing work? Whenever you put it in it adds oxygen to it as you're pouring.
It adds oxygen as you're pouring, and then you add it to the glass. And if you were only going to have a glass, you could use a vacuum, which is a pump that takes all the oxygen out of your wine. It saves your bottle. So if you're not someone that drinks a bottle a night or every 2 nights, then you could actually.
What kind of people are those?
I've never met one. No, I'm kidding. I've heard about them in the movies. No, I'm kidding. So so you can actually just decant one glass, and then you can vacuum, which means taking the oxygen out of the bottle and corking it so that it saves longer throughout the week. You can save it 5-6 days after you open a bottle that way. Oh, that's a good idea. Pickup line contest.
Yeah. That is a good idea. Who can I get? Well, I could probably get LinkedIn's most eligible bachelor.
Oh, yes. Or the cutest accountant.
Or the cutest accountant. Ooh, that's what I could do. I could have LinkedIn's most eligible bachelor, which is Nathan. I could have LinkedIn's cutest accountant, which is.
I can provide wine so people feel like confident.
Michael Eckstein. Mm-hmm. I could have Kenny come on because he just strikes me as a ladies' man. Or as a flirt.
You're right. Yeah, a decanter is when you throw it inside a decanter, which is the same thing as an aerator. What's a decanter, right? It's a container that's narrow at the top and wide at the bottom, right? And so that's adding air to your wine. So if you're going to serve a crowd and you're planning on going through the entire bottle, you could decant it. An aerator is adding oxygen to the wine as well, right? Okay. Right, Michael?
Same.
You aerate basically. A decanter aerates the entire bottle.
Okay. And the aerator just decants it basically as you pour it, but leaves the rest of the bottle undecanted.
And again, if you just open your bottle and let it sit on the counter, you don't have to have all the fancy tools at all. But my way is if you love a wine, just drink wine. You don't have to have all the rules.
Right. And that's what I like about what y'all are doing is you're taking the stuffiness out of it and the stuffiness out of drinking wine. If you however you like, it's kind of like I always preach about being on LinkedIn. Do it however the hell you want to do it. If it makes you happy, then.
Well, and that's the thing is I do those wine education things, but I'm not an expert. I've never even claimed to be an expert. I learned in Europe. We travel to Europe a lot. I just love wine, and I went and found a job that had to do with wine because I loved wine. I was just trying to find something that had to do with wine that I could do. So I'm not an sommelier. So, a sommelier may have a totally different response to the question, but you get into different restaurants and you get into different groups, and it's very intimidating when people are like, oh, you're using the wrong glass. Oh, you're doing this wrong, this wrong. Wine's supposed to be enjoyed, and wine's awesome. So I feel like the rules sometimes intimidate people from actually going out and trying wines. You shouldn't feel nervous to ask a question about wine, and I don't have all the answers. I don't even act like I have the answers. I just love wine. So there you go.
Loopy says, should you ever drink from a box?
I don't know. I have nothing to say about the box wine.
I've never had box wine. I don't even know. Nathan said there's nothing wrong with it. for $5 you get a whole gallon. I mean, that'd be
I guess it depends if you are, so Michael, also they add a lot of preservatives and chemicals to the boxed wine. So when you're looking at boxed wine, the reason why a lot of times, so for example, so if you go to a grocery store and you like a certain label, that label should not taste the same every time you go, right? Every year, it should not always be the same. They add chemicals, they add preservatives, they add things to wine so that it's consistent. So customers are like, oh, I love this Kendall Jackson Chardonnay. I love it. Well, that shouldn't actually taste the same every year you try the Kendall Jackson Chardonnay. So like our wines are nothing's mass produced, right? So we have no chemicals, no fillers, no additives, no added sugar, nothing, even from the grapes growing, right? So we don't even add pesticides on our grapes. We get a lot fewer bottles with our grapes, right? So we're not mass produced. We're small batch farms. We support small batch farmers. So, and it kind of depends on, I guess what you're looking for. I don't want additives in my wine. I don't want additives in my food either. So.
right. And I guess that's why there's so many additives and preservatives and sugar in wines, is because they want it to taste the same.
You want to be consistent. Like here's the thing, red wine should not stain your teeth. So I've had half a bottle. See how white my teeth are? So, well, don't tell me if they're not white, but they're not red, right? So red wine should not stain your teeth. That's an additive called Mega Purple. It's added to red wine. A lot of, not just mass-produced wines, it's added to even nice wines for the coloring. So if you sip on red wine, whether it's boxed or in a bottle, and you're staining your teeth purple or red, that's actually not supposed to happen. So that if you're staining your teeth with your red wine, you're probably having other stuff in your wine too. There's your little... I may just ruin wine for you now.
So Michael has a good question, and that can kind of lead us into talking about Scout and Cellar.
Yeah. So Scout and Cellar is, we are just 3.5 years old right now. So no, we team up with boutique vineyards from around the world, and we team up with these farmers who've been making wines really the right way for 100 years, right? Their family's been in the wine business, and they've just kept really small scale. So we team up with them. Everything's lab tested at UC Berkeley twice to ensure that they're completely clean, which means there's nothing but fermented grapes, even from growing grapes. Our wines are organic, or some of them are biodynamic or vegan. They don't use fillers. They don't use additives in the wine, no added sugar, no added sulfites. You've got natural sulfites, nothing added. So our wines are always changing. Nothing's mass produced. Honestly, I've gotten to the point where I've gotten to meet several of our farmers that we work with, and it's freaking awesome. I mean, we are putting these wines to the states that these farmers, we're opening opportunities for some of these farmers and some of these vineyards that, may not be here otherwise. So yeah, the business is amazing. It's incredible.
Yep. And it's only available. So let's clarify this real quick too. To win the contest, you have to be over 21.
Oh yeah.
There are a few states you don't ship to.
I'll put them in the comments. I don't know how to do it now, but right when we stop,
Okay.
I'll put in the comments. So we don't ship to a couple no-ship states. If you're in those states, you probably know, like Rhode Island. It's state liquor laws change. Mississippi is one of them. Utah is one of them. We don't ship to PO boxes, so you have to actually have an address to send wine to. You do.
What about Arizona?
Arizona, yeah.
Because I think that's where Brandon is from, and he's been dropping some dad jokes. I think Brandon's from Arizona.
Yeah.
So you have to be 21. You have to live in one of the states they can ship to, or live close enough to the state line of a state they can ship to and know somebody.
Yeah, we ship to Colorado. We've got a big team in Colorado. Yeah, so Colorado. I'm actually traveling to Aspen in September, so I'm excited about that. So, yeah, I think there's only 5 states total that we don't ship to. And again, we're trying to, we just got in Kentucky in April. So it's working with state liquor laws, and, every state's got different rules on what can be shipped to them. But yeah, the company Scout and Cellar is really amazing. And like I said, our wines are always changing. So every week you have new wines coming, nothing's mass produced. And, you're really supporting the small farmer. So,
yeah. And I don't drink wine yet. My wife, like
Yes.
we said, is a real sweet wine kind of girl. She likes sweet, even mixed drinks. Like her go-to drink is Malibu and Sprite with blue Hawaiian punch or Starburst flavor pack added to it. Like that's her.
Yeah.
She likes it really sweet. And she enjoyed, I got a bottle from you and a bottle from Mandy last time, and she enjoyed both of them very much. One was a rosé and one was one of the Dove Hunt ones, white ones. I think we got from you. I don't remember what it was. It was a white wine though, and she liked it.
I'm so glad. Yeah, I think a lot of times, if you can get that fruity taste, you don't need that syrupy sugar taste. You just want that little fruity taste. So I'm so glad she liked it. I like the picture of her.
Yeah. So this is a funny story. You talk about drinking wine however the hell you want to drink it if you like it. My wife drinks her wine out of a plastic cup over ice. And that's how she drinks it. Like she likes ice anyway. So she crunches ice and she sips the wine, and she crunches ice and she sips the wine. So yeah, that's the way she does it. And I'm like, babe, I can't even send pictures of you to my friends.
But that's how she likes it. Like, wine, a lot of people say red wine should be room temperature, but that's actually not true, right? So they said room temperature when we used to have wine stored in castles, and the room temperature was, a lot cooler than what we keep our houses at 72 degrees. And so, sometimes people are like, oh, you drink your wine too warm, or, like, I hate that. If you want to drink hot wine, do it. I mean, who cares? It's what you like.
Yeah, y'all don't ship to Arkansas either, do you? Do y'all ship to Arkansas?
I don't know. Is Mandy still on here? I will put in the comments. It's always changing. I'll put in the comments when we finish up here our no ship states.
She does like Moscato, Loopy. So I know somebody in Arkansas that has gotten Scout and Cellar. So I don't know if
let me see. I'm gonna look right now on you.
Sent to nobody knows. Gosh, dog, Eduardo.
Okay, so we don't. Yeah, you're right. Arkansas, Delaware, Mississippi, Rhode Island, and Utah.
Okay.
So Arkansas, we don't ship to Arkansas, Delaware, Mississippi, Rhode Island, or Utah.
So she must have gotten somebody to ship it to Memphis or somewhere too and got it.
Oh yeah, it's like you could ship it to the border FedEx location.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Michael. Reds are good. Yeah, 62, 65.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people, their room temperature is 72 degrees, which is a little warm for red wine. But of course, I travel around and do tastings. I'm not going to sit there and take someone off their red wine off their counter and be like, whoa, you're way off here. So, but it is. And I've actually found the people who are like, ooh, I don't like red wine. It tastes warm. It's like, you're actually not supposed to drink red wine warm. I think it's just a misconception out there that people should drink room temperature wine. Our room temperatures are a lot different now than they used to be when we used to store that wine.
Yeah.
The moats.
Right. And room temperature to me is like 69 or 70. Like I like it pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm missing who had a liquor license. I'm only getting half.
Oh no, they were talking about the Colorado liquor licenses.
Yeah, she had a
Michael
ship.
said it's hard to get wine shipped there. Individually, you can get it shipped, but to mass distribute, some people can't get set up in retail. And Nathan said, yeah, getting a liquor license here is stupid.
Yeah. Oh, Nathan, are you in Arkansas? Is that where he is?
No, Nathan's in Colorado.
Oh.
Yeah, they were talking about Colorado.
It's amazing. The state liquor laws. I've got a pretty big team in Ohio and Michigan, and they have, when you go to our website at Scout and Cellar, you select your state, and there are different wines available depending on what state you are. And state liquor laws are so hard to keep up with. I mean, there's some states that don't allow certain imports. Like if you have a wine from Chile, you can't actually sell it in the state, or you can't. Some states don't allow sparkling wines, international sparkling wines. So it's really it's difficult to work around state liquor laws, and they're always changing. You're in Texas, Chris, which we have all of our wines are available to you. I'm in Tennessee. Our state liquor laws allow all of our wines, which has been great, but it's not the case across the country. So I know we have people working on that all the time.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, and during the pandemic, Governor Abbott declared liquor stores an essential business and they could stay open.
Of course he did.
Well, the reasoning, he had solid reasoning behind that, I thought, though. He didn't want a bunch of alcoholics detoxing and crowding out the emergency rooms for people that were in, because they were already overbooked with COVID or whatever.
Well, I don't know if Mandy's still on here, but you know, our e-commerce wine business has gone through the roof in the last year. I mean, it's been huge. Pandemic's been terrible, but there have been a few businesses that have done well. And I think e-commerce wine or liquor or beer have done extremely well. Our company has surpassed our 5-year goals really quickly. So yeah. Wow, $10,000 for a wine and beer license. It's crazy.
Was that at a restaurant, Loopy, or was that like at a liquor store or something? What was that? I'm curious. Inquiring minds want to know.
I don't know. Yeah, we've actually, since the pandemic, it's been pretty cool that we've had.
Lindsay's like, she's playing us now. She's talking about dad jokes with grapes and wine. This is the other one she had. What do you call a wine hangover? The Great Depression.
I love what did the grapes say when it was crushed? Nothing. It just let out a little wine.
Yeah, right.
Oh, she owned a pizzeria.
Oh, nice.
So good. Oh, I bet your pizza was so good.
I bet it was too. That's cool.
Yeah. So what we've started doing with Scout and Cellar is we have now started bringing the grapes over and started bottling some of the wines over here so that we have some domestic, liberties. So we can get into some states because we're bottling them domestic, even though the grapes are coming from Spain or Chile. Okay. So it's our business has adapted and changed. It's pretty impressive when you're in these startup companies, right? We've been there. We're just 3.5 years old. You've watched, there's been growing pains, but it's pretty amazing to watch how we've adapted and changed to all the different, rules and changes that we see.
There's always a workaround.
Yeah. People need their wine.
Yeah. Right. Is that I guess that's in Austin, and Loopy's in Austin.
Why was the grape so sad?
Because he had been crushed. This is going to be tough trying to figure out which dad jokes are the best.
I know. I'm going to need you to narrow it down because I don't know if I'll be able to do it.
Yeah, and I am terrible with choices anyway, so it's going to be like that one.
I'm so happy to see all these people join.
I am too. It's been
always
fun.
That moment where you're kind of nervous. Like, I would have loved just hanging out with you for an hour, Chris.
Right.
Nice that people
Yeah, it's the comments. I love doing these lives and talking to, my friends on LinkedIn. But when the comments start hopping like they have been on here and you can't keep up with them, that's when it really gets fun.
Yeah. And Michael, if you're going to look at 𝙒𝙤𝙀.com, you can actually use our sites. I don't want to talk for Mandy. I don't know. But you can search for consultants. You can search for Marleah Alpers or Mandy Parks. And so you can shop from our site. And in that case, make sure you message us because, I love our wines and I research them every night. So I'm happy to ever make recommendations. So just know that when you go to 𝙒𝙤𝙀.com, you can actually select who you want to be your consultant. And that person's going to try to take care of you as much as we can. Oh, and Cellar guarantees all of our wines. So I feel like, if you go to a grocery store or a wine store and you don't like a wine, you're just kind of out of it. So with Scout and Cellar, if you don't love a wine, we're going to make it right. And we're going to add that credit to your account. So there's no risk to just find a wine. But I promise you, you'll love them. And I'm happy to help. And I'm sure Mandy's happy to help pick out some wines that you'll love.
So let's plug Nathan real quick. He has a live here in a couple of hours. No, what time is it there? It's 7 there. So in an hour, he has a live in an hour with, I don't remember who his guest is. It's terrible. So y'all, after you leave here and get you some supper and pour a glass of wine, another glass of wine, go hang out with Nathan for a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be on 3 and it's only 7 o'clock.
Yeah. We've got our dog to the wine. A Bordeaux Collie. Ha 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 ha. What are you going to leave us with, Lindsay?
Here's the last thing I'm leaving with you. Okay. I feel like there should be a drum roll.
Yeah, I know it. My LinkedIn froze up. Whether you see your glass as half empty or half full doesn't matter. You do not pour.
Oh, yeah, Lindsay.
Yes. I don't think that's a dad joke, but that's a heck of a way for her to leave right there. Whether it's half empty or half full, it doesn't matter. You did not pour enough wine.
Clearly. And you can keep refilling it.
Right.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
was not a refill.
I know, but
read it again. Read it again. Like I'm twisting your arm.
I know, but I haven't eaten since 10 o'clock this morning, and I feel like when things come to bite me in the butt. I told you it was the last day of school, so we've been running all over the place. I've been really super mom today. Well, this is fun. I can't wait.
It was fun.
If there's any questions, leave a comment or message us. We can answer questions. And this is so fun. We did Mother's Day and Father's Day, so I can't wait to figure out what we're going to do next. Why did Billy get fired from the banana factory? He kept throwing away the bent ones.
Oh, Lord.
They're all bent.
That is probably not
Brandon, you're
far
so
from the
right.
truth,
I say
Brandon.
bad words and everything when I drink.
Oh my gosh, when she gets to drinking, it is hilarious.
Did I do that on Mother's Day?
You did that on Mother's Day.
I'm cool, man. I'm cool.
Yeah, we were messaging with me and her and Mandy were messaging last night, and it was National Wine Day yesterday. The major holiday, and Mandy was talking about how she was going to have a hard time getting on because she had to unexpectedly take her son to football practice, and she would maybe be able to be on for like 30 minutes till 6:30. Mandy and Marleah both are in the Eastern time zone. It started at 6 there and 5 here. And so Mandy's talking 6:30. Somehow Marleah was thinking Central time zone. I guess that's because the way I had advertised it was in my time zone.
It wasn't alcohol. It was you. I think you messed it up.
Yeah. It's like she was having a hard time grasping what she was going to be.
It was after 10.
It wasn't after 10. It was funny.
Eastern time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Eastern time. But we got it all figured out, though.
Well, she was like, I can only be on until 6:30. I'm like, oh, that's cool because you're starting at 5. That's plenty.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
She waited. I eventually got there.
You were thinking my time zone because that's the way we had advertised it.
It had nothing to do with the wine.
And she was saying her time zone. So yeah, it was funny. It was a good time. And then we got the video of popping the cork. Was that on some bubbly wine or was that regular wine? It had to have been bubbly.
It was bubbly. I mean, I pop corks all the time, but this one, like, it flew far.
So how do you pop a cork on a bottle of bubbly?
You just pull it. You just pull it up.
Oh.
You just pull the cork out and it pops.
Okay.
I'm so uncomfortable right now. Maybe everyone's left. Maybe no one's left.
No, we're down to 5 now.
Okay.
So just 5 instead of 10 or 8.
Brandon was right. There you go.
Yeah. I just met Brandon. He dropped in on our weekly Zoom last Tuesday, just as we were fixing to get off. And we had to use, yeah, I know, right? We had to use my Zoom because Amy couldn't make it or was late or something. And he creeps in and, you know, he joins without video, and we're all like looking at him and talking about what we're fixing to do for the rest of the evening and fixing to shut down. And Brandon's there with just a little gray face, not even a picture of him, just the gray face. And we're like, who is this dude? Like, nobody knows Brandon. And so I was like, you know, I feel like we should kind of address Brandon before we all get off of here. And so he popped on and introduced himself, and I've been seeing him all over the place. Yeah, now we're all best friends, right?
Okay. I didn't mean to get weird there. It was just
no,
like,
you didn't. That's awesome.
I know how to do it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh,
yeah, he did creep us out. We were like, we don't know Brandon. He hadn't said anything. Of course, when we were all talking, like it's a straight up party on those Tuesday Zooms. So we were all just talking and carrying on.
I'll have to join sometime.
Yeah, it's a blast. We have a lot of fun with it. Although we did, yeah, he did. Eduardo was there. He popped on because you called him out.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Amy could not make it at all. And so it was just Nathan, Brittany Love, and myself. And so that's the second time I've had to host without Amy, and the attendance was way down on it. So we have come to the conclusion that Amy is the definite party animal in the group. Like where she goes, that's where everybody else shows up. Yep. All right. So
look at how popular we were tonight.
I know, right? Like we did good tonight. I was really impressed. I normally average 6 or 7 people, and we had 11 on here at the most. So I was.
And there's a whole line of people wanting the replay. So
yeah, exactly.
When did you become viral? Is it 12 people? Because I think it probably is.
I don't know.
Because it's coming.
It's coming, right?
No, it's our moment to shine.
Yeah. So. Want some wine? Shoot Marleah or Mandy a DM. Yeah, Brandon, those Zoom parties are open to anybody that wants to drop in. So it's never an interruption.
And now you're a member, like you're.
Yeah, now you're a member, even though you didn't show up this week, but you know, you're still a member. We won't hold it against you. Y'all want some awesome wine? Shoot them a DM. If you're interested in selling wine, shoot them a DM.
Yes.
Because anybody can do this. Mm-hmm. And we talked about that on the last one. And just real quick, yeah, anybody can do it. All they got to do is shoot you a DM. You can get them hooked up, show them how to do it, show them the ropes and all that kind of stuff.
And it's a new company. And if you've never heard of Scout and Cellar, it just tells you right now how new we are. So, you know, training's involved. Scout and Cellar supports you, and the wine's awesome. And whether you just want to buy wine from yourself and get some free wine or a discount, or, you know, Mandy and I are building wine empires here. I always say, I'm building a wine empire.
Right.
There's a spot for you. Yeah. I'll have to do the next Zoom party. That sounds fun.
Yeah, they are. They're a lot of fun. They are a blast. Because it lets you get to know people that, you know, you open it up to whoever wants to drop in. Like Brandon, and Eduardo was another one. I'd never even seen him on my feed, or him or Brandon. And they both just dropped in, and we met them, and now we're all friends.
Well, it's funny. I do a lot of phone calls. So when I meet, like, I don't accept every request. I'm kind of like, so I joined LinkedIn last fall when all the small business networking kind of stopped. So I'm really involved in small business in our town. And so I'm like, hey, let's get on the phone. And some people are like, why? I'm like, well, because I actually want to know who you are. So if I know what you do, Chris, then I can help my best way, help support you in your business, support you in however I can. And so I love this LinkedIn for the networking, to actually meet real people. And then when you're thinking wine, you can think Marleah and Mandy. When you think of, you know, whatever it is, like this is networking. Like I want to meet the real people, not just their names on a screen. So yeah.
Yeah. So Brandon, what part are you talking about? You talking about the Zoom party, or are you talking about my next So I Did a Thing live? Either way, the Zoom party is every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central. Usually either Amy or myself will put a post up in the afternoon about it and do a story. That's standing. And then I go live every Wednesday at 5 Central. And then Nathan goes live every Wednesday around 8 Eastern, 7 Eastern. Yeah. So next week, I'll be sure and tag you in the post, whether I do it or Amy does it. I'll make sure and tag you so you see it. But you can always go to our profile and look.
Okay, we'll
It's
probably do
always
another
up.
wine one. We'll do another one. I don't know. We've already done moms and dads. We probably can't do kids. So
Maybe July 4th or something. No, I'm booked like through August.
so popular.
Yeah. Well, that's my fault because I would think of somebody I wanted to come on and I'd ask them before I forgot to ask them, and then ended up booking me out through August, the first week of August. But we're fixing to change a little bit. Oh, thank you, Brandon.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
drinks are allowed. Yeah.
I only come if there's drinks allowed.
Yeah, exactly. Drinks and F-bombs allowed, so it's all good.
I said I don't feel so bad about my swear word.
Yeah, please don't. So we're fixing to change it. I'm gonna plug this real quick too before we go. So, everybody knows I've posted some about, being in prison and coming out of prison and all that. So starting June 30th, Nathan and I are going to start doing a live at least once a month, probably twice a month, talking about second chance hiring, the struggles felons face when they come out, why you should give them a second chance on a job or housing or whatever, just to kind of help end the stigma behind, because Nathan's a felon too. He's not quite as open about it as I am, but he doesn't hide it either. So I'm not like putting him on blast.
Are we outing somebody?
No.
Okay.
No, yeah, we've already talked about this and I've already made a post on it. So it's out there. So and that's another reason I quit asking people, is because I knew I wanted to do something a little bit different with my lives, I wanted to highlight my network, but there was also some causes I was passionate about that I wanted to talk about. So Nathan and I are going to get together, and we've already got a few guests lined up. They're going to be talking about prison reform and second chance hiring and just, addiction and how that hurts, or boosts the stigma or something like that. So we're going to start that on June the 30th.
I tagged someone. Did you see my tag? I had tagged someone that works with the prison program. I think he was,
yes,
okay.
You did. I'm connected to him already.
Okay.
He never did respond, but I have him on my list to, he's volunteer coordinator at one of the prisons in Colorado.
Yep.
I have him on my list to contact.
He posts a lot about a similar topic. So I love that. I love that you're doing that.
Yeah, awesome, Brandon. And if you're interested in being a guest and can, come on and offer any kind of resources or, just advertise even that y'all work or that you work with 𝙒𝙖 at work, to get felons employed. We're not going to stick to just Texas and Colorado, because obviously LinkedIn is nationwide and worldwide. So shoot me a DM, Brandon, and to remind me to put you on the list of people to talk to, because we'd love to highlight that for sure.
It's awesome. I look forward to that.
Yeah. So we're still going to do the regular So I Did a Thing lives, but there's also going to be some other stuff mixed in there with it, where it's going to be kind of half talking about what I want to talk about and half highlighting my network.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. If you ever need wine, Mandy and I are here.
Yeah, right.
Awesomeness wine. Yeah. I don't know if we pair with prison reform and stuff. I don't know if that's appropriate.
Yeah, anything does with that.
Yeah, always a wine Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. So, Marleah, I appreciate you very much.
Thank you for having me.
When I end the broadcast, don't exit out real quick, because I'm gonna holler at you before we go all the way out. And I appreciate everybody for stopping by, and we're back up to 8 people, so that's awesome. I know, right? I know, it's awesome. I appreciate everyone, and we will see y'all next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.